Hi, everyone. So I'm Grace Shimatsu. I'm a project manager with the Speedy Foundation, and I'm joined today by Emily LaFrance, who is the Principal Research Analyst and Program Manager for the Idaho Violent Death Reporting System with the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare. And she's taken the time to join us today to share some super important information about the Idaho Violent Death Reporting System and how this service and program can be used to better safe messaging in the media. So Emily, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So my first question for you is if you could tell me, how does the Idaho Violent Death Reporting System program and dashboard that goes along with it enhance the media's ability to responsibly report on suicide? So why is this something that members of the media should take into consideration?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Idaho Violent Death Reporting System, or IDVDRS, is our statewide program that's a part of the National Violent Death Reporting System, or NVDRS, which is a CDC violence prevention and data collection program. And there's one in every state, and we compile data on all types of violent deaths. So this includes homicide and suicide, as well as accidental violent deaths. We compile that data for all settings and all age groups. And our data is unique because we gather and link information from multiple sources, including death certificates, law enforcement, and coroner reports, to provide a really detailed picture of the circumstances that contribute to violent death, including suicide. So our data set includes a large number of data elements or variables that provide context about violent deaths, such as relationship problems, mental health problems and treatment, and toxicology results for victims, as well as life stressors, job problems, financial problems, and physical health problems that might have precipitated the death and impacted the victim. We also include extensive information about the incident, including weapons used, characteristic of the suspect in the case of a homicide, and locations where the death occurred in our data set. So our data are far more comprehensive than data that's available elsewhere on suicide and other violent deaths, and can be used to identify trends and emerging issues such as veteran suicide and increased risks among certain demographic groups.
Great, excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. And then next, could you provide us a brief overview of the dashboard and any upcoming updates that are coming to its data features?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go ahead and share my screen for just a moment. Okay, so we have a data dashboard that is public on our Idaho Department of Health and Welfare's Get Healthy Idaho site. So our data dashboard, I'm sharing with you an updated version. This will be published within the week, but we have a similar version that's just looks a little bit different. It's a little bit older, live now on our Get Healthy Idaho site. So we have data on demographics of violent death victims. As you can see, the majority of our deaths are occurring among suicide victims. So a lot of that data is going to be relevant to your interests. And we have the ability to filter by manner of death, so customizing all of these visuals to suicide specific, if that was something a user was interested in. So not only do we have information on demographics and geographic location of deaths in Idaho, we also have data on rates of death by year, so looking at trends over time. And our newly updated dashboard, which again will be published soon, contains information on circumstances of Idaho suicides and homicides. So this is where we're compiling information from law enforcement and coroners to look at circumstances such as mental health diagnosis, interpersonal problems, physical or mental health problems that might have precipitated suicide, as well as toxicology results. So we're really looking forward to getting these data out there. Again, the vast majority of this data is already live, and this new circumstantial data will be published within the week. So looking forward to that.
Great, excellent. Yeah, it's a really amazing and reliable resource for reporters in Idaho. Absolutely. So thank you. And then what other resources do you recommend journalists who are outside of Idaho look to when looking for data and information when reporting on suicide?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as I mentioned earlier, the CDC has violent death reporting systems in all 50 states. So, there are state specific VDRS programs in every state, and many of them have their own data dashboards. The CDC also provides free access to nationwide data on violent death and suicide at their web based injury statistics query and reporting system website. They call it Whiskers for short. I'm able to provide a link to that if you're interested, but that has kind of demographic level information on violent death and suicide across the nation. So that's a really great, reliable resource that's pulling VDRS data from all 50 states.
Excellent. Yeah. And we'll link those resources and those links down below in the next module, and you can click on those and access those resources that Emily just talked about. So yeah, I just want to thank you, Emily, for sharing that information with us. That was really valuable to media, reporters, and journalists. And we appreciate your time.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you.